Bouncer, Square's ambitious PlayStation 2 brawler, was meant to be the future of cinematic action games. But what if I told you that beneath its flashy graphics and fast-paced combat lies a forgotten piece of gaming history? A game that may have been meant as Square's first attempt at a Final Fantasy-style action RPG, before it was forced to become something else. Today, we're diving into the secrets behind the Bouncer, uncovering lost content, scrapped ideas, and its mysterious connection to Final Fantasy. Released in 2000 by Square and Dream Factory, The Bouncer was one of the first major games to showcase the power of the PlayStation 2. It was marketed as a playable action movie, one where cinematic cutscenes and gameplay blended seamlessly. But behind the scenes, this game had a very different origin story. There are major connections to the Final Fantasy franchise. The game was directed by Takashi Tokita, known for his work on Final Fantasy IV, Chrono Trigger, and Parasite Eve. The game's story and characters follow a Final Fantasy-style formula, a group of unlikely heroes facing off against a corrupt megacorporation. The combat system was heavily influenced by Tobal Number 1, another Square fighting game, but was originally meant to have RPG-like elements. At one point, the Bouncer wasn't just a beat-em-up. It may have been Square's first step toward making a real-time Final Fantasy RPG. The Bouncer wasn't just a button-mashing brawler. It had RPG mechanics hidden inside. The EXP and leveling system was intricate. You could increase power, defense, and life for each character, almost like a Final Fantasy leveling system. With multiple playthroughs, the story changes. The game encouraged replaying different characters for unique story perspectives, much like Final Fantasy VII's party system. Could these be materia-like abilities? There's cut content suggesting magic-based attacks were once planned, but removed in favor of simpler combat. What if the Bouncer was meant to be Square's first action RPG, but was rushed into becoming a straightforward beat-em-up? The Bouncer's story feels incomplete. The game introduces intriguing lore. Sion's past with Dorrigan, Dominique's mysterious origins, and the secret of Mikado Corporation. But many of these elements feel rushed or underdeveloped. The game is too short. Coming in. At under 2 hours, The Bouncer is missing key story beats. The ending is way too abrupt. Was more content planned than scrapped? You also have the cut enemies and areas. Data miners have found unused enemy designs, and a potential final boss that was cut. Was The Bouncer meant to be bigger? A full-action RPG with an expansive story? And if so, why was it never finished? Despite its ambition, The Bouncer was not a commercial success. While it looked beautiful, critics and fans agreed. The gameplay was too shallow, the story was too rushed, and the game was simply too short. Here are some things that went wrong. The PS2s had early hurdles. Being an early PS2 game, developers had to deal with unfamiliar hardware limitations. Square's also started a focus shift to Final Fantasy X, leading to the company having to prioritize its resources elsewhere. Also, it was way too cinematic, leading to the game relying heavily on cutscenes, making actual gameplay feel secondary. In the end, The Bouncer was a victim of Square's transition era. It was stuck between being a fighting game and an RPG, and ended up being neither. Here's the thing. Despite its flaws, the Bouncer still has a cult following. Fans have long speculated, will Square Enix ever revive the game? And if they did, would it finally become the action RPG it was meant to be? There are some reasons a Bouncer sequel could work today. Square Enix has perfected action combat with games like Final Fantasy XV and Kingdom Hearts. The cyberpunk aesthetic would fit in modern gaming trends. A remaster or remake could restore cut content and deepen the RPG mechanics. And if Square revisited the Bouncer today, it could become the real-time Final Fantasy brawler it was always meant to be. But will they ever take that risk? The Bouncer wasn't just another PS2 game. It was Square's first attempt at merging RPG mechanics with real-time action combat. But due to development struggles, it never fully realized its potential. Was it a lost classic, or just an ambitious failure? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you love What If videos on gaming's biggest mysteries, hit that like and subscribe button for more Gamer Lore Nexus. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.